it's not gonna be changing depending on what actually their opponents are gonna choose. So Painted Desert, that's definitely nice to see, is gonna be the first map, and it's gonna be chosen in the quarterfinals of the League Cup for AciD and Team Mystic. Well, they're gonna be choosing after. The gods are gonna be for Team Mystic, Issei aka Samo, it's gonna be Oranos, Truelock is gonna be playing Zeus, and Errorkill is also Oranos, so double Oranos Zeus. Interesting choice for this map, kinda makes sense. And for the opponents, for AciD, it's gonna be Nightkiller as Loki, and the rest I forgot and then didn't really see. There is apparently gonna be Weasel with Thor, and the last player that is gonna be Odinkin as Gaia. Gaia on Painted Desert is actually a very interesting choice, because considering that Painted Desert is, well, that's a very nice micro in there, saving some damage on the villagers in here, right off the bat. But to finish my thought, Painted Desert is basically signified by the fact that you... Yeah, almost hand-deleted himself. That was dangerous right there. Definitely dangerous. But finally, for the third time, finishing my thought, Painted Desert is a map that is having very low amount of wood. There is pretty much no wood in the middle, just basically some stragglers and whatnot. And all the wood is on the sides. It's gonna be right now on the left and on the right. There's also gonna be a bit of water behind it, but it doesn't have any kind of fishies, so you can't get anything for that. Odinkin, what is it's looking like for him? It's gonna be probably hidden somewhere, the rhino or whatnot. Well, he's an Atlantean, so it's not like it matters a whole lot for him. He's still having the chickens in there, but I'm really thinking that he's gonna be discovering something fairly soon. For example, the huge amount of zebras in the middle. And I'm kinda thinking that on the other side of the map, it might be similar for one of those players. You could have seen Truelock with the hunt, of course with the rhino right there. As for the other players, it's gonna be rhino 4. The pocket player Errorkill and Issei, well, he has one as well, so I'm kinda thinking that rhino is gonna be hidden somewhere waiting, or maybe it didn't spawn. Well, that would be kinda nerf for him, of course, but it's not like, really, it's not gonna matter all that much, because, yeah, because he didn't get rhino, but he's gonna be having plenty of zebras in there. Don't really expect it's gonna be making all that much of a difference. He had, of course, all those chickens, so he did have the source food, so nothing really all that major for him. Okay, so let's see if he's gonna be able to overcome that kind of problem or not. As of course the opponents are having all and allies as well, all of those rhinos for themselves. As of course there's also gonna be Gaia Forestry already being given by the players, and it's gonna be of course by exactly the Atlantean Odinkin giving it to his teammates, which is of course helping the early economy quite significantly. Well, in the meantime, of course, the villages are gonna be moving somewhere into the middle, which is gonna be for, yeah, this very big hunt, because there's gonna be elephant and also quite plenty of gazelles in there as well. And yeah, there's gonna be a bit of help by, of course, this forestry. The opponents, they don't have any kind of north, so they don't need to worry about some kind of forest fire or whatever, that could potentially be misused in that way. But Weasel playing the Thor, and potentially still there being some kind of forest for AciD. I'm definitely thinking that that could be a possibility. We have, for example... Yep. Yes. He was there in the one spot of the darkness hidden. Yeah. Well, you need to scout better. You need to expect... This is kinda actually quite interesting point to talk about. Because usually players who kinda think first that the map is screwed are not gonna be looking into those empty spaces where the rhino should be and is then being hidden. And that means that they are basically shooting themselves in the foot just because they are having the wrong mindset of the game and they expect that the problems are somewhere else and not inside there and not present. And like that, the problem is actually not there at all. He just needs to scout a bit better. And yeah, that basically caused him a bit better advance time. But as a guy, I don't really think it's gonna be all that much of a problem. Especially considering this, that it's gonna be right now scouted by Truelock. So Truelock doing a good job of scouting behind his base, discovering that this side build is already there. And that means this is not gonna be all that much of a surprise. You can see that AciDs are definitely going for this very hard. Very hard indeed. You can see that even Weasel is already building right next to the opponent. And with this build up, I wouldn't be really surprised by the forest and forest fire on some of the opponents, on probably the Atlantean, because Atlantean TCs of course are having lower amount of hit points. That, for example, the Zeus by 700. 700 hit points, that's just a whole lot. As of course you can already see Jason coming to the bottom, which I don't think is such a good idea, because He's just alone. And he can build a few Hersers in there. He already is. And that's, in that case, not gonna be a good fight for him at all. The Relic, nothing all that major, as already they're gonna be fighting together. Yeah, he's gonna be good for some, like, basically the 1v1. But once the extra Herser comes in, it's not gonna be all that fun anymore. As, of course, yellow is right now forced off the hunt. As Issei and Error Kill both are advancing to the next age, but is it really gonna be kinda enough? I'm not all that sure. You can see that yellow is not prepared for the eventuality of the forest fire. The Gaia trees on him, and Sugara isn't, of course, Issei, so yeah, it's not like they will be preparing for anything like that. Heimdall, yeah, you can see what's coming. You can see what's coming. That's definitely gonna be what I'm talking about. A Night Killer coming for that, and of course, use the forest fire. Yeah, that's absolutely obvious. So who's gonna be the victim? I'm really thinking it's gonna be right now the yellow player Error Kill, because it's looking like that it will be making the most sense of all the options in here. As of course, Red is already trying to basically deny food, and this is quite important, of course, because this was a pretty big hunt for Trulog, and Trulog, well, he does have secondary hunt. It's of course gonna be quite useful, but at the same time it's gonna be wide open, and potentially there's gonna be opportunity for the teal player to maybe go there one way or the other. In the meantime, blue is already gonna be helping the teammate, so that's very nice team play and nice thinking right there. And yellow kinda trying to escape a bit, because of course red is having plenty of army, and it's at this point a bit stronger than, of course, he's having himself. So this is gonna be a pretty good double, as we just basically waiting for the pulled trigger of potentially casting the Undermine and whatnot else. So how's it gonna be looking here? How's it gonna be looking? I'm kinda right now curious what they're actually waiting for all that much. They're probably waiting for a few more units. Like for example this. And in combination with this, casting the wood with the forest fire, that's gonna be... It's gonna be like insta TC. Especially if Undermine is gonna be used as well. So I'm kinda thinking that Error Kill, even though he was doing his job, or rather doing what he could to get that, yeah, here we go. Forests are being cast, and forest fire is gonna be coming pretty soon as well. Fortunately, he hasn't cast it really all that well. You can see that the forests are kinda not growing as you would have wanted. So of course, right now it's gonna be dying fairly easily. Yeah, it's gonna be not even repaired by the citizens. So goodbye TC. He's at least in the second age, so it's not like it's totally impossible for him to actually come back from this situation, but it's gonna be very hard, especially since he is apparently already losing some villagers here and there. We have heard the donkey dying, and this one is quite probably gonna be dying as well. So Trulog sees fire quite late, or rather quite late. It's not like it would matter a whole lot, because it's really looking like that actually this forest fire would be killing it anyway. He didn't have enough villagers in there repairing it. And I'm kinda curious if maybe Teal is gonna be able to take it for himself. It's gonna be 6. No, goddammit. 4. 4. Yeah, he doesn't have the resources, unfortunately. Ah! Right now he does. He just basically clicked it in there. You have already seen the result of that. So that's gonna be attempt to steal the TC, which might succeed because he's still having half a minute and plenty army there. So yeah. Thank you very much. That's gonna be TC for, of course, Team AciD. And well, for the opponents, they are nicely scouting there. This is still Odinkin though, so not really opponents in here. And unfortunately, yeah, Trulog not having enough army to actually help. He's gonna be attempting to do so at least now, but with the extra fire of the TC. And unfortunately, still even the towers, for example, missing, which definitely should have been researched. That is not exactly working according to plan. At the same time, of course, since we don't see Odinkin being present all that much, the Mantis is gonna be definitely right that there is a sling going on. You would definitely be expecting that, especially with the large increase of army into Weasel. Yeah, definitely would be agreeing on that. But let's wait after this battle is actually gone, because the sling and the tribute, aka sling, is definitely gonna be there. Yeah, let's switch into the post game. Economy 4,000 resources already sent by Odinkin, and that is definitely working very well indeed for AciD so far. So they have more or less, they haven't really killed Error Kill, because they didn't kill all that many villages. They killed the TC and his ability to get the economy up, but as an Atlantean, he's still not out. He still can make some kind of comeback if his allies are gonna be playing well enough, and I don't like this. I think this is the wrong decision. It would have been easier to go for the other Atlantean, basically kill his TC as well, and kill his base. It it would have been so easy, of course. As in here, it's gonna be a whole lot harder, but with all the armies, and of course the ceasefire already being gone, it's probably not gonna be that hard to finish in the end. But yeah, Truok is recognizing exactly that this is not gonna be coming their way, and that was nice strategy in there. Nicely played, nicely executed, and something to actually keep in check. For example, even for playoff teams. That was really nicely played. That was really nicely played. It was you could have kinda guessed it already, because picking Gaia for a combination like this on such a map, I mean, on one hand you could understand the problem of the wood. It could be basically made up by the Gaia's forest, but at the same time, of course, it could still give you an idea that maybe something like this could be coming. Well, let's look at the post game. That is going to be the first game done. And it's gonna be the first game down with Visaheim the high score, but that's of course because Odinkin was sending him everything, and you can see even the score was reflecting that 689, because he was just sending everything to his ally, which meant that he didn't get much bonus from that, of course. Yeah, Wiesel, he was having a nice game in here. So that was nicely played by AciD, of course. That's one hell of a jump in there on absolutely everybody. That's what Sling can actually do for you. That's what Sling can do for you right there. So, GG.